Howdy, folks. Dadman Walking Fit 5 here, coming to you live from the East Coast. Sorry for being a few minutes late because I didn't get JT his picks till like after 6 o'clock tonight. So, hell, JT, how are you tonight?
Go Tigers. They won
Which,
today
which
against
ones?
the Detroit Tigers.
Baseball.
They lead the series against the Indians.
Well, at least you're not Corey Cochran's not here yet. He does not like Detroit.
Well, that just is tough luck for him.
Or it's like I like to call Detroit.
Yeah. Well,
since I'm a master of French and all foreign languages. That's why in high school the ladies love me because I can woo them with my French.
Did you also see that your Cubbies won today, 3-1 against the SD memory cards?
The STD, dude?
Yeah, no, the SD memory cards.
You just blew right past my peacocking. Okay, well that's cool. Like, I mean, even the chat is out there ignoring me with that. But anyway, but yes, I'm glad to see the Cubs win. I was nervous about that playoff series, so maybe.
I mean, it's one game.
Maybe the next series, if they advance, maybe I could have some people and watch some baseball. I don't know. We'll see. Depends if it's but it's on TNT, isn't it? Not even ESPN.
Oh, I don't even know. It's on during the day for Detroit, Cleveland. So I mean, like a 1 o'clock game. I don't have time for that.
Hey, Sashi, yes, but I speak the language all the ladies like is the international language. The language of love. You remember Better Off Dead? Better Off Dead? Like it translates French, Jane.
I remember Better Dead Than Red.
No.
That's something else,
Dude,
I guess.
Better Off Dead. Wes and I've got to have another stream on that. Well, would we focus on that movie? You never saw Better Off Dead?
Nope.
God, it was like
there's a million movies out there.
Dude, it was like typical. It was the typical 80s where, dorks like me could look at something. Yay, you're a loser. Everybody else is better than you. But hey, we win at the end because we got the real girl that you wanted, not the skank hoe shared by the ski team. Of course, then when he, don't ask about the basketball cheerleader that dated the whole team at one time. So anyway,
that's Eric Hartman's mom dated the entire Denver Broncos at one point.
Well, Carmen's mom. Sorry, I was about to go on the song with the other South Park kid. Well, we got 8 people here. Let's get into this right now. I do need to do something on the Twitch side real quick. But JT, what were your observations? What were some of the games that you actually got to see this week?
Oh gosh. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. I watched Florida do a Florida thing.
Oh God, yeah. This week they didn't even play. They lost to the bye. Right. Well, hey, I got this thing on Thursday night. I'll be with Anna at 8 o'clock. You're gonna want to hear for our Get Over It. I've got the perfect Get Over It for me this week. So make sure you're there with us. I will talk about all the other streams coming up very, very soon. Okay, let's get to it. Let's say hi to the chat real quick. Let's go through. Sam Wolf. Dude, I tell you what, this lady is a great, not only streaming with us and all, but she's a great friend, great lady, and great BYU fan. God, it was so fun watching football with her family. The kids, when they sent them to bed at halftime, you should have heard the kids, but they went. Yeah. Sam, great to see you today. And Anna, great for you to stay up so late at night. Thank you, Anna. Would not be a stream without Anna around. Whoop! Anyway, of course, although if you take those, take those fingers and do them downwards, you can do the down hook 'em horns. Look it up. Hook 'em. You know what? Maybe we'll look at that up.
The unhook 'em horns.
Yeah, the unhook 'em horns. Yeah, we'll look at that tonight. Maybe when we can get into this. JT Kirk's here. Sashi is here. Yes. And food too. We appreciate that. Greetings, Sashi. Tomorrow night, of course, we got, let's see, this proper direction of the Kegels. West Kegel, hell to you. We will be live tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for Go West, Dadman. So I think that
I'm trying to remember what I did watch over the weekend.
What?
It was a long time ago, Dad. Man, Saturday was like a whole different era of me.
What do you mean?
I can't remember what I ate for lunch.
Well, we spent a lot of time with Mom, but I did catch a couple of these games coming up, as we'll talk about them in a few minutes. So I did see some things, some big action that we had this week, and we'll get into that right now. So why don't we do that with 6 people watching us? Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Share out the stream if you don't mind. And there's Legatus Legionize. Good to see you. How are you doing? Good to see you too. All right, let's get into it. So let's see.
Deadman, I got to say this. So the building at work got shut down for a few weeks because they had a Legionella or Legionnaire's disease.
No way.
Positive, yeah. So they shut down the whole building, took like over 1,000 samples, flushed all the water out of everything, and they're saying you can go back tomorrow. I heard some lady complaining that she didn't want to go back because the high flow toilets can aerosolize water particles into the air, and she didn't want to get sick from Legionnaires from the toilet flushing. I'm sitting here going, that's what you're worried about with flying into the air? I'm like, you know what else is in that water? Anyway, I was like, this is the most ridiculous shit ever. Like, what did you want them to do
shit.
for bleach?
See, Anna, JT's talking poo tonight.
Yeah.
Golly, we can't get away from the poo. Oh, but somebody that probably thinks this week it was poo this week. But hey, Chewy, hey, good to see you. What's up? How are you doing? We're just about to kick off. Literally here.
We are. I had to. It made me laugh so hard. I was like, the only like bigger piece of poo that I've seen is apparently Arkansas.
Oh yeah. Who fired Sam Pittman this week?
Yes.
After getting trounced by Notre Dame. We'll take a look at that game in a second. He's still employed while he's no longer employed while Billy Napier still has it. Join me Thursday. Not tonight, Dad. I don't know. I can't hold back a little bit of it. By the way, action got started on Thursday night last week. Army beats East Carolina 28. East Carolina beats Army 28-6. But story of the night, and we're going to just go ahead and take a look at this game here. Oh God, Chewy, yeah, this. Look at this. I think I was going to see a World War II YouTuber series of day 1 to 10, but when I noticed you stream on, I was like, it's that time. Thank you, Chewy. Thank you, man. I appreciate it a lot. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on all the action this week. I appreciate it. And Sashi, take care. Go Edge all you can. So,
well, besides, our show is probably going to end before you get to 1944 anyway, right? So
probably. Well, the first game that really of the note this weekend was a Friday night. Of course, you and I hate Friday night college football games.
Yes.
But 8th-ranked Florida State went into Charlottesville, Virginia, and came out in a loss. Virginia wins this game double overtime, 46-38. What is unique with this game was that the way it ended, Castellanos, the BC transfer from for Florida State, throws a pick in the end zone, and it proceeds to be a storming the field incident right after it. We'll take a look at that in just a second. But looking at the stats of the game real quick, it really was a good game to watch back and forth with offenses. And I tell you what, Virginia, one of the problems they've had over the years is not having a quarterback, not having a productive offense. But those days are gone. They are now legitimate. They're 4-1, 2-0 in the conference, and Florida State's 3-1 in the conference. Chandler Morris was 26 of 35, 229 yards for Virginia, 2 touchdowns, but he also threw 3 picks. So
conference such as it is, by the way, because I don't have any respect for the ACC right now.
No, we don't. And Virginia, well, because they keep losing the playoffs fairly easily. Clemson, as their star program, has fallen off. Virginia also ran the ball for about 211 yards in the game, while FSU threw. over 500 yards of total offense on the ground and through the air for FSU. So this really was a game back and forth that goes down to the end. Double overtime, folks. So that means you got to have your 2-point conversions that get converted. Virginia holds on, wins at home. But what's unique with this stadium, it's one of the few stadiums that I've seen that, let's talk about the charging the field issue, because that's something that came up this week really big. Virginia was fined $50,000 for storming the field after at the end of the game. Now, what happened in this case was the fourth down play was in the end zone, and Virginia picked off the pass. But what is unique with this stadium is the students are down on the field. There's like no barriers. There's no walls like where they have to come down. I mean, they're basically charging like in Civil War, right open. They were all lined along the back of the end zone. So when the pass was intercepted, they immediately charged the field. There was concerns about 4 of the Florida State football players being trampled and being hurt in this game. The article from SI.com mentioned about the fans rushing the field literally at the end of the game. There was actually, the article goes on and said it was a frightening scene as the students packed in a tightly behind the end zone where the game ultimately ended. On a desperation play that would decide the contest double overtime, senior quarterback Tommy Castellanos threw into the end zone in the direction of senior receiver. You love him and I do, even from Tennessee, Squirrel White. Gotta love that name. Squirrel White, yes.
No relation to Walter White.
No, exactly. But the pass was intercepted, and they got tangled up with White on the ground. But as they hit the turf, fans came rushing in, taking them completely out of the picture. They literally disappeared in the chaos that happened. There was worry for White. Actually, what's sad is 2 days ago, there was a rumor, somebody sicko on Facebook, Twitter or Facebook posted he had died. It was bullshit. It was wrong. It was just like pissed me off with that. So, they got everybody to the locker room and not sure of any issues is what Norvell said Friday night, but later in the week he changed his tune. So it was actually White's first game back after missing the win against Kent State. So the Cavaliers were fined by the ACC under their new field storming rules that were implemented over the summer. Virginia fined. Let's see if I can find the amount. Let's see, $50,000.
$50,000.
Yeah.
And this is the first year that the fine was enacted. I went and looked because I was like, why is it only $50,000? Mm-hmm. That's nothing for these organizations. So was this from like the 60s or 70s? No. They decided to slap on the wrist.
Well, it's something, though, at least compared to what they used to do. We're going to talk about this. We had a weekend of a lot of stuff with this type of stuff. And Buddy Hepburn, howdy. Good to see you, Buddy. B from O, one of our resident Auburn fans. How are you tonight, B from O? Good to see you.
Although I would really be interested to see, Dad Man, if those 19 that were injured in this event don't turn around and try to sue the school.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It wouldn't surprise me,
Yeah, and Sashi, keep commenting. I'm flagging this for when we get the game. Oh, hey, Mrs. Raid. Yay, Mrs. Yay. Hey, sweetheart. How are you doing? Good to see you, my wife. By the way, a fabulous dinner tonight. Enjoyed it very, very much. Yes. And Figgy came up. Hey, Figgy. Not a good week for Louisiana, but hey, we'll talk about that in just a minute. All right, so let's see. And Chewy, I do want to hit on LSU when we get to that a little bit because this is significant what's happening there. But and ACC starts off the week. Big game. What do you think about this storming the field? And folks, if you in the chat care have an opinion to opine on storming the field, what do you think?
I don't think that it's ever warranted. What's the point? You won the game. In a lot of stadiums, it's downright dangerous to do it. Knowing a lot of the stadiums in the Big Ten, there's a significant drop between the first row down to the level that the field is on. You're talking like 8 feet or more. And so maybe you can try to funnel everybody through steps. I've never understood the point of storming the field. And second of all, I really was wondering the level of police presence to try to stand there on the sideline and prevent it.
Yep.
I know a lot of even college games will have a heavy police presence near the end of the game, just on the sideline to make sure no one does it.
Now, I will tell you what. Okay, I like it. I think it should stay, but I think it's overused now. I think what should happen is like if Vanderbilt in the pre-bad Vanderbilt days, like the winless Vanderbilt when they beat like Alabama, yeah, do it. But like you said, in a lot of stadiums, the architecture slows it down that where you can't rush like that. I'm going to share with you. This is where the problem came in the stadium concept with this. This is the end zone where the pass went here. You see those students are all at the back of the end zone. They're nearly on the field of play before it even is. And look how far go it back. There is, like you said, there's no down steps. There's no way that they have to crawl down. I mean, they were all lined up on the field ready to charge immediately. In that stadium specifically, they should do something to slow it down. I'm all for charging the field responsibly, but
a lot of schools will have police around the outside, let no students or student organizations down in the last 5 minutes of the game anywhere on the field. And then they'll also shoot out the marching band real quick right at the end, so that way they fill up the field instead. I mean, it's
that's what it is, JT. You don't like it because it takes away from the marching band's time.
Oh no. I just don't see. I don't get it. I don't understand the point.
Like I said, in real cases, like winless Vanderbilt upsetting a Notre Dame, that would be something I would think. It's a tradition. It's a thing like that, like in basketball too. But like I said, you got to do it differently. This was like a mass riot. Normally fans take longer to get onto the field. This one, where they're down on field level, there's no stopping them. But like you said, you got to plan for that ahead of time. You've got to keep them from massing and congregating in certain areas if you're going to do that. So, Anna now says, yeah, you wouldn't be able to do that with actual soccer in the UK today. Yep, I understand. Like you don't see it at the NFL games. And hello, Figgy. Good to see you too. So, yep. Yeah, JT's proper. I'm like, hey, anyway. But it's okay because it's incidents like this that cause this whole thing to be ruined for others, Yeah. The rumor about Squirrel White dying, which was not true. They did say he got had a small injury with things out of this, but it's a dangerous. We're going to actually see, and Chewy will probably remember this when we get to the Ole Miss LSU game. So let's go forward. My Beavers lose again on Friday night to Houston. They came close, 27-24. They lost in the games of the top 25 during the week. Ohio State extends its winning streak, number one, 24-6 over Washington. Oregon goes on the road to Happy Valley, 30-24, double overtime. Oregon pulls this game out. What did you think? Oh, God. Oh, God. There you go. Yeah, the NFL, they just fight in the stands and out in front of the stadium instead of over there. Yeah, there you go. Oh, gosh. Okay, I'll have to take a look at it, Jess. By the way, Jess, good to see you tonight. How are you doing? This game here, let's take a look. Let's take a look at these games a little slower tonight.
It's kind of shocking for me, actually. I did not anticipate it being like that.
Right, you picked Penn State. I took Oregon, but you know why I went against Penn State? James Franklin. James Franklin sucks in the big games. I saw something on Twitter that said Joe Polley shat his pants once in his long career. James Franklin has done it 21 times while at Penn State. And this is what we talked about your conference here. Your conference is the Big Ten. And this is exactly why Ohio State will dominate forever until a team like Oregon, or like in this case, Penn State at home, has the advantages, and they lose.
Yeah.
To another highly ranked team. James Franklin cannot win the big game. That's the biggest
To be
complaint
fair,
I've had on
though, it was an overtime decision.
Right, but
So,
when you're not winning any of those games, it's easy to
yeah.
harp on it, because it just. I mean, he's got to start winning games like this. When somebody says, "Well, would you want him at Florida?" Well, I kind of think, well, at least we'd win and we wouldn't be clap clap shift. Actually, I'm going to start calling it clap clap shit. Okay, clap clap shit. That's the offense they run, but basically.
I was just so scared of whatever Wes Cagle might do if I dared not root for Penn State that I just had to go with Penn State.
Oh, I know.
Just kidding.
West. I still got him with the State University of New York. I'm not New York. God, New Jersey. Damn, I'd start a war between those two states, calling it New Jersey, New York. Whatever. Okay, Oregon threw Dante Moore 250 yards, 3 touchdowns. 29-39. Drew Allar was 14-25 and threw the crucial pick that won the game in the end for Oregon. Did you see that play?
No, I did not. Sorry.
But the dude went to first career interception. He skied for the ball. It was like a wheel route thrown off into the flat. Nice play. Went high, got the ball, came down, and no, there it was. Ended there, and that won the game in the overtime. So,
the missus is headed out.
All right. Yeah, she's going to relax. All right. Enjoy. Thank you for coming by for a bit. So, yeah, exactly. See, the whole thing about the charging the field, we had one in 1985 in Jacksonville at the Gator Bowl because in 84, Florida finally beat the Georgia Bulldogs for once, so they stormed the field. The next year, Georgia wanted to storm the field, and they had cops at them. They had dogs and cops. They made the news pictures like they weren't going to let them tear down those goalposts again.
Right,
so,
right.
But then again, why I love goalposts storming the field. When Tennessee beat Alabama a couple years ago, people marched, got on the field, they took the goalpost out, and you know what they did with them?
Threw it in the river.
In the Tennessee River. Yes, sir. They buried them in the river. But anyway, I digress.
I have an ancestor that fought on the Tennessee River, by the way, for the North.
What was he at? Cumberland? Fort Donelson?
Oh, gosh. No, it was a very small skirmish.
Okay. That's cool, though. I'm always interested in those.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a 270 yards offense for Penn State. Not really the most dynamic offensive output. You open up with nothing happening till the fourth quarter. You don't really deserve to win the game. It's just to throw that out there. Yeah, that's true. All right, but this was one of the games. College Game Day was here for this one, and it was it lived up to the hype, though. At least
And there was a big T-shirt campaign going on too, and all kinds of stuff.
Right. Exactly. Well, now we'll move on to the next game. 4th ranked. I hope, Chewy, you're still here. I'm going to come up with some of your comments in some of these games as we got here. 4th ranked LSU goes on the road to Ole Miss and beats Ole Miss. Ole Miss wins 24-19 in a game. This is a game where I get the topic of charging the field came up, and Lane Kiffin. I agree with Lane Kiffin in this case. He's like, we won. We're supposed to. I'm proud of our fans for not charging. You're 13th ranked in the nation. You shouldn't be charging the field. If you're sister of the poor, then do it. Hey, DJ, play nice. Good to see you, dude. How are you doing? Hey, good to see you. Always good to see you. It's been a while, but hey, yeah, you be safe too. We take care, and you rock too, DJ. We're gonna get to some 80s music. We're gonna get to some 80s music one day when life settles down. I promise you. I've got resources now to do that. But in this game, really, once again, we see another case where LSU's offensive struggles come to the forefront. Heisman Trophy candidate Garrett Nussmeier's 21-34 for only 197 yards. But you look at it, there's no rushing game again for LSU. 21 carries for 59 yards. And really, Brian
That
Smelly.
shocked me. That did shock me how
I
this
really,
game went.
yeah. See,
Mhm.
what I struggle with is it Brian Smelly or is it game schemes or what exactly exactly his problem?
I put it all on Brian Smelly, but it might be a little too easy to do that.
Yeah, I can understand that. So, uh, Chewy says as for LSU, Ole Miss, one huge red flag or red flags. Ole Miss ran 80 plays, had 480 yards. LSU ran 56 plays, but 254. And yes, the score was close, but Ole Miss on offense and defense to a degree dominated with their game plan, even if they did not run up the score.
Oh yeah, I would even argue that the LSU defense did their job. I forget what the average is in college versus the NFL, but it's something like 27 points is the over under to win a game. And if you give the other team, only less than that number, you're probably going to win. But that's like the break average point. So the fact that Ole Miss won with 24 alone is unusual.
Yeah, it's really bizarre seeing this LSU team. 254 yards on total offense for LSU. Now, from what he's seen, either during the game or maybe after Nuss was playing hurt as the game went on, but week in, week out, Joe Sloan, the offensive coordinator, does not adjust his game plan and often tries to get a run game going, but little success. Which, believe me, I know in Gainesville, clap, clap, shift, clap, clap, shit. I mean, it's it's frustrating, especially for LSU and their fans this year. They actually have a good defense, a really good, solid defense. Imagine what they could do with a halfway competent offense. And Garrett Nussmeier comes in as one of the leading quarterbacks in the country, Heisman candidate. And I think I heard somebody say the other day with all the quarterbacks really sucking big this year, the Heisman candidate probably is an offensive lineman somewhere.
Yeah. They'll never do that, but
No.
Sure, it's nice to dream.
But the good thing is, at least for LSU, the season's not over. You can still win out, probably make the SEC championship game. I don't like Lane Kiffin. I would take him over James Franklin in Gainesville. I like that he's exciting in offense. I like that he's like Spurrier where he trash talks. But I don't. He's another guy I don't will not win a lot of the big games. Give him credit. He beat Georgia last year. He beat LSU. It'll be interesting to see if he gets in the playoffs if Florida could get him away, assuming they fire Billy Napier at some point. So, but I don't know. I mean, at one point they were willing to hire Brian Smelly, and I'm like, I don't know, JT, but we'll get to that another time. But again, Ole Miss, really give them credit. They won this game. They won it at home, shutting down LSU's offense once again. And LSU is more frustration as a Tiger fans out there. At what point did we saw with Chewy's comment about the offensive coordinator right there? These coaches, they get into the games, they don't change. They stick with it, and they will not change it.
Well, there's also only so much you could change in one game, too. I mean, you have a playbook, you stick to that. You can only practice so much in a week.
Yep. Chewy also put on another note, Ole Miss on its run defense has given up 109 yards a game, but only allowed 54 yards. Wow.
This season is not over for them, though.
No, it's not. But we're 5 games in. This offense for LSU has shown no propensity to put points on the board.
Well, okay, but South Carolina will probably give them a chance to work some things out. I think they could beat number 16 Vanderbilt. A&M and Alabama look tough, but then your next 2 games, Arkansas and WKU, those are wins. And then at the end of the year, with Oklahoma. Awesome. I think they stand a good chance of having only 1 or 2 more losses if they learn from this week. So I don't think it's doom and gloom talk about Brian Smelly in any type of, get rid of him way. There's still A lot of
Oh yeah,
opportunities.
you wouldn't ever do that. I mean, you wouldn't if you're in your right mind. You wouldn't with where he's gotten them to before. But and of course, then again, if you're not making the playoffs or the SEC championship game, then you you're not getting where you need to. But the other point, Nussmeier is not a super mobile quarterback like they had before. Any running attack, they got 2 or 3 yards is concerning going against the top tier SEC defenses. And don't think like Chewy had said, Ole Miss had been giving up 190 yards a game. It's not like LSU got stuffed by even say Florida's run defense or one of the better run defenses in the country. So, but it's but and the other point with this is like I said, though, Lane Kiffin. See, Lane Kiffin had the right idea, and that's my philosophy on the charge of the field. When you're highly ranked, when you're ranked, or you beat, you don't charge the field, even if you beat the 4th ranked team in the nation. Yeah, you expect to, like we've said, like a lot of times what coaches will tell you, act like you've been there, or score a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Act like you've been there. You don't have to showboat. You don't have to do this, that, and the other. But we've lost that to some degree. But I still say in rare occasions it should be. But let's see. So okay, Chewy said that Ole Miss did win despite that they had made mental mistakes, but it did not deter them and made adjustments. LSU does host South Carolina. I'm not sure if with 2 weeks off that Nussmeier will be healthy enough to start, or they turn to the backup to get a spark going. You have to wonder. You have to wonder. I mean, there's still a lot to play for. You're playing at home. Why not start the backup if he's not? If Nussmeier's got injury issues, of course, everything happens about pay nowadays. Like that's one of the questions they have in Gainesville with Lagway making $3.8 million for the garbage that's being produced, but then there's talk that there's division in the locker room because Napier's sticking with him when he's struggling badly because they're paying him. It's like he's being protected instead of putting the best player out there to try to win or not. So, Sam says, or if you don't want to stress me out, never charge the field. I worked security in college. I had friends who did field security for football. It was one of your pet peeves. I know. Sam's going to nag me now. I remember I knew this was coming about charging the field, but hey, do it safely if you're going to do it. Speaking of not charging the field, the Georgia Bulldogs did not get to charge the field this week because they laid an egg at home, losing to Alabama 24-21 in that game. It was a good game. This is one of the games that I watched with Mom a bit and things like that. But, okay, come on. This game was lost early in the 4th quarter. One of my pet peeves is the way we're playing modern college and NFL football like video games. Georgia has a 4th and 3, I think it was inside the 15-yard line in Alabama territory, down 3 points with about 13 minutes left in the game. Instead of taking the field goal, tie the game, what does Kirby Smart do? Not so smart. He goes for it, fails, get no more scoring. So Alabama holds on for that 24-21 win. I mean,
you might think it was a good football game. This looks awful. 1 touchdown in the second half. One score in the second half.
Because you're a Yankee. It's Southern defensive football, JT. Mm-hmm. Hadn't Billy Napier taught you something with having a great defense that can stop people?
This looks like Iowa to me.
Not quite that bad. That's Florida at this point. But Ty Simpson for Alabama actually had his best game of his career that I've ever seen him do. 24-38, 276 yards with 2 touchdowns. While Alabama also ran the ball for 117 yards. Georgia, I tell you, ran the ball for 227 yards. That is amazing. But then again, could not do much in the air. Gunnar Stockton, 13 of 20, 130 yards and a touchdown. But man, this is like old 80s Georgia running the ball like crazy. But then again, you got you got the way this came down. There are no turnovers in this game, which was really good. It was a well played, clean game. Just why do you not take the points if you're a coach, JT?
I'll never be able to answer that.
Yeah, because that's what flummoxed me so badly. It's like that's to my comment about we're playing the NFL and college. These coaches are making decisions like they're video game football, like we're supposed to score 80 points a game against everybody, and it bothers me in terms of the integrity and the quality of the game. Because the NFL came up with analytics with their book after they got the 2-point conversion. This is what you do, and these coaches are so beholden to the book and stuff. It's never like you go on gut, go on whatever. Maybe Kirby thought on his gut, but you're playing a team like Alabama. Even though you're at home, you got the crowd. If anything, when you're playing at home, my idea is you play for the tie. You force it towards overtime. You take the points.
Especially when you're looking at the fact that your defense did such an amazing job the second half.
Yeah.
You take the points because in overtime, you have faith that they're going to be able to keep it together. For goodness sakes.
Yeah.
It always messes with my mind that they do that and then lose and then go to the post game interview like head in hand and all this. It's like the choice was obvious, dude, and you made the wrong one. You got a lot of money to make the wrong choice.
But it turned out to be a game, great game. And of course, Alabama wins again. I saw an SEC YouTube channel that does SEC.
Well, it's never a great game when Alabama wins.
No, I know, but what's interesting is that this skit handed out losses. The skit was handing out losses to each team this week, and they kept reminding Georgia, "You seem to be losing to Alabama all the time." It's like, yes, but hey, all right. Going through the rest of the top 20, we're going to speed up a little bit. Oh, actually, a couple things. I see another comment from Chewy, and there's one that was started. Backups for Reno's on the LSU roster. Michael Van Buren. I'm going to tell you what, Chewy. I saw him play a lot last year at Pitt State. I'm sorry, I should say Mississippi State. Sorry, because Mississippi State is really good this year. I should not talk smack being a Florida fan. But Michael Van Buren, as a freshman last year at Mississippi State, was very good. Was a very good quarterback. I'd go to him. Even if Nussmeier is not, I would quote, he's injured and start Van Buren. See what the kid's got, because I know if he had the talent that Mississippi State has this year and he was still there, Mississippi State would be even better. But I like Michael Van Buren as a quarterback. So you're looking forward to Texas Tech, Houston. Well, Texas Tech's probably going to destroy Houston because Houston barely beat the Beavers the other night. Let's see here with this. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Chewy said Bama, Georgia was really interesting. Yes, the Tide won the game, but it shows a real huge flaw in the Crimson Tide defense. If you have an O-line that holds their own and can run like Georgia did, that can be a problem, but Kirby Smart respects. I will say, though, thank you for taking a shot at James Franklin. People are like, well, you want him at Gainesville? I'm like, no, because he won't win these games. And that's the thing is you want to win the rivalries.
2 ideas for your Florida team.
Okay.
You're not going to like either one.
Well, that's fine, but we'll finish. Kirby Smart, I will say this the second time I've seen him. There was one time when they played Alabama in the SEC championship game with a fake punt at a horrible time, and then the passing on the field goal. But I love it, Chewy. I love that little nod at James Franklin. All right, so we can take a look at that real quick before we move on to another game. So what are your 2 solutions, JT?
For new coaches?
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, the first one, are you ready for it?
Yeah.
I think you should seriously look at Deion Sanders.
Okay, I'll take that. Even though he's Florida State, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I need a coach. I need a coach that talks smack. Even if they don't win, I like when they get under everybody else's skin. I like that. I miss that from Spurrier.
Yeah.
Meyer was too clinical, but I miss Spurrier because God, those Tennessee fans just kept jumping off the mountains up there when Spurrier said, "You can't spill citrus without UT," and
The
other
other
things like
one
that.
that I think you should
Okay.
pick, because he's no good in the NFL and everybody knows it except for him, because he's jealous of his brother. You need to pick up some Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, I thought you were going to go Gruden, but
No,
yeah,
I think
he
the
won't.
NCAA heat
Yeah,
is off of him now,
yeah.
and the stink of all of his cheating at Michigan is in the past.
But I don't think so.
Pick him up.
I think Carpetbagger. I mean, it was bad enough with Urban Meyer there. He didn't fit in. I don't think there's any desire for Harbaugh, not in the Southeastern Conference. I
No,
mean, no, I don't think so. But let's also, who's to say he'll not cheat again and then get bored and go back to the NFL? He's kind of like needs a sick one either stay in the NFL or stay in college. But Sam Wolf with the comment of the night that I know you will love. Personally, I'm a fan of anyone who can beat Bama.
Yes, Sam, exactly, 100%. You got a lot of smart friends in the chat here, Dad, man.
Absolutely.
I just gotta say.
And they say that they don't know much about sports, so they do. Chewy said that back on the Georgia-Bama game, each of the team's defense had some flaws. Bama on the run defense, 227 yards on the ground, but the Bulldogs' pass defense, got to assume each of the they'll adjust. They'll get better. I will tell you, though, I was impressed with Ty Simpson with that kind of performance. He's one that I've not been high on. I've kept waiting for him to get replaced by their athletic freshman quarterback, but he's still starting there. Other games, we're going to speed up through some of these, though. Auburn goes on the road at 9th ranked Texas A&M. Texas A&M wins in a slugfest, 16-10. Indiana goes on the road after putting up 60-something against Illinois. Illinois puts up 20 against Iowa, 20-15, with the bizarre play where the damn quarterback ran the timeout. Instead of just running around and taking a knee, he ran back out of the end zone from like the 40-yard line. It's like, just throw the ball out of the the problem is 4th down, you couldn't get an intentional grounding call, but it just was a bizarre way. I mean, it's not like you were at your 10-yard line and you just back it out. It just was strange. Let's see. Arizona loses at 14th ranked Iowa State, 39-14. Another game of the week. This is the one I spent most of my time on, Tennessee and Mississippi State. Listen, folks, I'm sitting here just shocked. Mississippi State goes in this game 4-0. I had them like falling apart after this and having Florida higher, but no, it's like somebody said that going into this week, you had Vanderbilt and Mississippi State both 4-0 in Florida. Well, we love Florida, but in this game, it was a good start for Mississippi State getting the first score of the game, 7-0. Then Tennessee rallies back, but at halftime, it was a 17-17 tie. Really a good game. Mississippi State is really showing some promise this year. They're not what they've been in the last few years of just incompetence. But then again, Tennessee ends up taking the lead 27-24 on a fumble return for a touchdown in the fourth quarter, but Mississippi State ties it to force, with 10 minutes left in the game, to tie it at 27. They score, but then again, Tennessee, Joey Aguilar, 6-yard touchdown run to tie it at 34. And then what was sad is I saw the touchdown run, 25-yard run on the first play of overtime. Then Mississippi State gets stopped. Tennessee wins this game overall. Blake Shapen for Mississippi State throws for 180 yards. Bothwell, his name is called Fluff. Fluff Bothwell. Fluff. Yes, Fluff.
Oh,
because his mom thought he was like a kid, just like babies were flat, fluffy, So
no,
yeah,
they kind of look like sprinkled red prunes.
Yeah. Oh, I know, but it's Fluff Bothwell. Okay. They explained it. His mom named him that because he was like fluffy, like being a baby. It was just kind of fluffy.
I mean, that's the kind of thing you name your Chihuahua or something.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I tell you what, I wish that we had some of our Tennessee fans here, because I tell you, 4-1 now. They had the disappointing loss at home to Georgia, but Joey Aguilar, 335 yards passing. Now he threw 2 picks, but Tennessee's found a quarterback. Not they let Nico Amagana leave, and everybody's happy with Aguilar. It's back to a throw first, really wide open Josh Heupel type of offense here. So I guess she didn't like your analogy with that one, shriveled red prunes. Well,
I mean, how else would you describe the baby right when it comes out?
I don't know I don't know if I call them red or prunes.
Well,
I guess so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not fluffy. Okay, we'll go with not fluffy.
Not fluffy. Oh wait. Okay. Well, that works. But red prunes. But anyway, this was this is the game of the week that I really followed, that I was really interested in, and Mississippi State though is better than what they had been. Give them credit. Shame though to lose this game at home though. That's going to be the hard part with this game, is that they lost it at home. As we continue, Georgia Tech goes on the road. 16-ranked Tech beats Wake Forest 30-29 in overtime. This is a game I gave up on because Wake Forest converted a first down with about 2 minutes left, and Georgia Tech was down on timeouts, but they got the ball back, ended up tying it, and then winning the game in overtime. So never give up, folks. I like the rambling wreck of Georgia Tech, a hell of an engineer. So I know. I do like it. I will say the first week of the season, Mom was like, I want to watch Georgia Tech. I want to watch Georgia Tech. So I'm like, okay, Mom, we'll watch Georgia Tech. And I kept turning it to Auburn. She's like, I want to watch Georgia Tech. I'm like, okay, Mom. It's like, it's like, it was just funny. That's one of those great memories that we had there that night. Oh, gosh. Jess said, maybe the definition of fluffy matches the comedian's version, a level of weight. Maybe. No, he was puffy. The thing was, it was described that he was puffy, like that's why they called him fluffy. Oh gosh. Okay, we'll look at 20th ranked Missouri kills UMass, who we said is bad last year, 42-6.
I should have named him Puffy, not Fluffy. Then when he grew up and had kids, then he would have been Puff Daddy
or Two Puff. Sorry. There's an inside joke with someone on that one, but yeah, it's like it could be like Tupac, Two Puff. Okay, anyway.
Or he could have been like the Jet Puff Marshmallow.
Yes. That I forgot about those. I did skip one game. 18th ranked Vanderbilt wins again, 55-35. Oh my gosh, how about that? Vanderbilt.
Exciting if you like to see a lot of touchdowns. 24 points in the second quarter, and then 17 in the third. I mean, I don't know how you go about that game not thinking you're just going to blow them out.
Well, Utah, I like saying Utah instead of Utah, but Utah State ended up keeping it close. It was 31-21 at the half, and they really fought hard through this game, but second half Vanderbilt did pull away. Just look at the box score. I did not realize Diego Pavia. I want to keep saying Diego Garcia, but it's military base. But Diego Pavia is just like, I didn't think he could throw the football, but 26-34, 321 yards, 5 touchdowns, and an interception in the game. And then while Vanderbilt then also ran for another 222 yards. So, yeah, I know. It's great. Oi. I always think when somebody says "oi," they're in pain or something, but it's okay. So the great state of Utah showed well in Tennessee, but if they fall 35 points against an SEC team from Utah State is really, really interesting to see. Really kind of surprised that Vanderbilt gave up that many points, which I do think does not work well for them in the future. Giving up that many points to Utah State this week when they play Alabama. We'll talk about the games this week in just a moment. But let's see, we're going back through. We're finishing the top 25. Outside the top 25, there's probably not many to look at. We got a USC Illinois game. Illinois wins this game 34-32. This was a game you and I disagreed on last week, and Illinois kicks a game-winning field goal at the very end to win this game at 34-32. Really a good game. It was a really solid game back and forth in this one. If you got a chance to watch it, it was really, really interesting. And Illinois, USC was kind of criticized for using their timeouts. They only had 2 timeouts, but they used them both. Illinois still had enough time to set up for a chip shot field goal. Wins this game in a matchup of Big Ten. You would think this was the Rose Bowl, but it's a Big Ten matchup. So, and they played this game at noon, JT. How does that make you feel when you had to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning? Oh, hey, Mr. Angel. Speaking of 3 o'clock in the morning, Mr. Angel's here to leave a like. Bathroom time. Yeah. Grumpy old man noises. Yep, I'm right there with you, buddy. Good to see you, Mr. Angel. But yeah,
it's weird that they could play a game with a West Coast team at noon o'clock Eastern.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. If anything,
it's just odd. In USC, no less.
Yeah. But the previous week they had the late game at like midnight at what's kicked off at 11. Jeez.
I mean, it was so late you could argue USC had a week on short rest.
Yeah.
Because they had like a whole day less.
Exactly. Really, that was a highlight of the game. Really, is the way it ended. It was back and forth, especially in the fourth quarter. USC took the lead. Illinois drives down, take the win. In this game, DMW5 throws 364 yards for USC in a losing effort. But Illinois trying to rebound. They lost by 50-something points to Indiana in the week before, trying to get back into the higher ranks of the polls going forward. So, we talked about their schedule not being the best schedule. So who knows how much they can go up this year. I mean, unless they can, I think I'm trying to remember if they even play Ohio State. They need to beat somebody like Ohio State or Penn State.
Which team are you talking now?
Illinois.
Oh, Illinois.
Yeah.
They play Ohio State in 2 weeks.
Right.
And that is the last hard game on their schedule.
Yep. And hey, Fallsmeyer, good to see you tonight. How are you doing? Good to see you. Did I say hi to Figgy Plays, by the way? I thought I did, but hey.
I thought you did.
Yeah, okay. All right. I don't remember sometimes, but we got the next game we've got is the game that calls Sam Pittman. 22nd Notre Dame goes on the road, crushes Arkansas 56-13. Started out like a good game, a couple drops by Arkansas, settling for a field goal early on, and then Notre Dame, the Hounds of Hell were released, and they just dominated Arkansas from then on out. Sam Pittman's fired. Bringing back, if you SEC fans out there, the great Bobby Petrino, who was the offensive coordinator last year, which a lot of people speculated it was the inside job to force Sam Pittman out so that Petrino was in position to take the job permanently.
Do you think he was fired at halftime in anyone's mind when it was 42-13?
Probably.
Or do you think the scoreless second half sealed it? I'm wondering, like, at what point on the game, the box score where you fired him.
I think it's in the first half easily because, I mean, you didn't come out of the locker room well. I mean, they did a little bit at first, but not enough to keep up with Notre Dame. Notre Dame just bulldozed them really early and really often. So, but yeah, we got that game. Of course, this game has a lot of notable taglines, not necessarily for what's good. 25th BYU went on the road into Boulder, Colorado, and beats the Buffaloes 24-21.
Yeah.
King Dion's team. What a wonderful road win. It's a game, like I said, I was able to watch with Sam, actually, and it was really, really interesting to see. And, it's really cool to watch football with passionate people that really like their football. But it was not a normal game for BYU. They got into conference schedule, so it's not as easy as some of their earlier season matches were. But they did well on the road in Colorado. Bear Bachmeier, the transfer from Stanford, was 19 to 27, 179 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also, he ran for 98 yards. He reminds me a lot of Tim Tebow. Character, the way he plays on the field, can throw, can run. Really a different type of quarterback. I really like watching him play. I find him a lot of fun to play. This BYU team, folks, West Coast football is not bad. You need to give them a shot. Although it's more Big 12 now than necessarily West Coast, but BYU goes into Boulder, a difficult place to win. Caden Salter for Colorado was 11 of 16 for 119 yards, a touchdown, and an interception, while they ran the ball for 172 yards against BYU's defense. BYU was averaging 5.3 points a game, the best scoring defense in the nation, but obviously gave up 21 and actually gave up 14 right off the bat in 2 consecutive possessions. Then they tightened up and held Colorado. So let me go to the recap with the game, because it was like 2 different types of games. Colorado jumped out. They ran wild for a while. Then then BYU took back. BYU took the 17 to 14 lead. Then what happened? Then they Colorado takes the lead back at 21-17, and then the defense for BYU just faltered on that last drive where Cody. So let's see. Cody Hagan, 32-yard run. I remember watching that. That gave the last score of the game with 14:02 left in the game. BYU takes the lead that it will not surrender at 24-21. It really is a very, like I said, it was a fun game to watch. 14-10 at halftime. There was only 21 points in the second half between the two teams, but it was a competitive game back and forth. It was not settled until Kate Salters threw the interception with about a minute left in the game. So not really a lot of passing, but it's fun for you. So, sure. Let me go back up here. Yeah, Sam said Bachmeier, the quarterback, is freshman. His brother is the one who transferred from Stanford to play with him. I heard that they both transferred, but either way, it's a really good story watching the two of them play together. They really, really are neat. They really are cool. It's a great family story to see them playing again. So, Sam said also that really bad holding call at the very end that Colorado did. Didn't they have to cost them the game? Yeah. Timely penalties will affect you badly in these games. And JT, I don't think you didn't get a chance to watch this game, did you?
No, I didn't. It was not on in my market.
Well, BYU owned time of possession 33-35 to 26-25 for Colorado. But sadly, what's noted in this game is what happened afterwards. In a rare move that happens, the Big 12 Conference has fined Colorado $50,000, publicly remanded the school after a derogatory chant from Buffalo's fans targeted the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints during Saturday's football game against BYU. The league quotes, "Hateful and discriminatory language has no home in the Big 12 Conference," League Commissioner Brett Yormack said Tuesday in a statement. Goes on to say, while we appreciate Colorado apologizing for the chants that occurred in the stands during Saturday's game, the Big 12 maintains zero tolerance for such behavior. I won't say what the chants were, but they were derogatory that were heard from the student section during the victory in Boulder. Deion Sanders, the coach, apologized on behalf of the athletic department during his press conference Tuesday. He said, quote, "That's not indicative of who we are. Our student body, our kids are phenomenal. So don't indict us just based on a group of young kids that probably was intoxicated and high simultaneously."
Yeah.
Sorry. Yep. I mean, the combination of, and you got to remember, it is Colorado. But, the sad thing is it happened.
I also know for a fact, because I participated in it, a lot of F-bombs flying out towards Ohio State or Michigan when they came into East Lansing, okay? Like they had to there's been numerous times where when Michigan State were to get, very competitive, where you could hear the student section in the stadium, saying F the other team, they bleep bleep on national television. And they try to drown it out, but you can't drown it out because it's the loudest thing in the stadium.
No.
So, they're probably right. It was some intoxicated young persons. Didn't make it okay, though.
No.
But I don't know how you stop it.
That's the problem. It's
finding the school isn't going to do anything. In fact, finding the school would probably embolden them to do it again. I'm serious.
The
rebellious nature of young people like that. You try to sue their school. I mean, it's not going to directly impact them.
But I think the important thing is, like Dion goes on to say, maybe I shouldn't have said that as well, but truth is going to make you free. But BYU, we love you, we appreciate you, and we support you. The problem is, though, everybody was looking at somebody to be the adult in the room to take a stand on it. And that's the league does not do this often. Leagues don't really do this often. But they really, all the league, if you go to any college game, they talk about good sportsmanship, racial language, all kinds of other stuff that will not be permitted. And it's good that they did it. That they had to make a statement on this stuff because the Colorado Chancellor Justin Schwartz said, and the athletic director Rick George issued a joint statement condemning the behavior, calling it, quote, deeply disappointing and inconsistent with the university's values of respect and inclusion. They said those responsible would be held accountable under Colorado's code of conduct.
Who are they going to find it?
You can with video cameras. They've done it before, especially with ejecting and removing ticket holders and stuff. They have enough video cameras. They can find people, especially with audio. Who knows? And maybe people rat each other out. But the point is at least if you give it some teeth, that hopefully it will discourage something else in the future. Also, the problem, again, BYU also released a brief statement Monday night on social media. Quote, we denounce all forms of religious discrimination and appreciate at CU Boulder's example in rooting out these inappropriate actions. We invite all to showcase their fandom with enthusiasm and respect. So it was the first meeting between the two since last year's Alamo Bowl. Now the thing is with that is I've also learned this week that there were multiple other instances of this. Wherever they go on the road, it's happening any and everywhere, and that's a problem. I mean, Arizona, other schools, and things like that, where this stuff is happening repeatedly, and that's why I think the league felt like it needed to take a strong stand and deal with it. Because,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, because it's happening everywhere. It's not just happening in one place.
Dadman, Mr. Angel. I have never heard this before, but apparently this is a thing.
Yeah.
He says he's even seen a chess hooligan.
Whoa. Wow. Yeah. That is saying is so. Yeah, and this is not, you see, because that's what I've come to understand and learn. There's other reports I've seen in other podcasts. This has happened at other schools, Arizona, at different places, so the league has to get out in front of it, because the next fine might be even worse, and the fans police the other fans in the stadium. And
just like the $50,000 fine for rushing the field, $50,000 is not going to do anything.
Yeah, and it doesn't.
No.
It's a lot of time is that it's more that you're showing some.
I mean, but you knew where it was coming from, the student section.
Yeah.
I have a feeling there's ways you could really address it. If you had a large marching band, you could get them in the corner of the end zone and start,
Well, or you
blasting
could
them
you could
out.
have the police walk in the student zone and if eyes get on it, I think it would stop it. But it's yeah, that wow, that's horrible to see that those things happen there. So oh man, so it's just a lot of stuff that's going on, and it needs to be dealt with really hard. Like Jess said, also there were other real life events that happened on Sunday too. Sam said, I don't think the fine was the best idea. I think contact like that needs to be addressed in the moment. I agree, which is basically, you have people, adults walking through, chaperones basically to come through, make sure that you can. If you start to hear chanting, you know what? You can also clear out the whole student section. Fine, we'll just throw everybody out. It's you can do, but it's hopefully it never happens again. And that's why I believe too. In this case, the conference had to do something publicly to make a statement everywhere, so that all the other schools will start paying attention to the issue, since it's not just that one school. Oh gosh, Mr. Angel said, I wish I was kidding, but he actually heckled the players threw a drink at one. In chess? Wow. Oh, that's crazy. That is crazy. All right, so let's go further with this. So,
well, I'll say that BYU winning is the ultimate win on on that, because now Colorado just looks like a bunch of spoiled sport losers that. So
Deion's been kind of, not the same type of season this year. It's not. They're not having the same success. The quarterback. They've had quarterback issues, rotations, and stuff. So it's been a different year for them this year. So you never know. But all right, BYU continues on. Yay! Still, I tell you, this team should be ranked higher than 25th. It shouldn't be 25th, barely in the top 25. This team has been better. I think probably weak schedule has hurt them. Yeah. Just rapidly to go through some of the other games through the week. Minnesota beats Rutgers 31-28. Games of interest. Louisville beats Pittsburgh on the road 34-27. Cincinnati, the Bearcats win in the last minutes against Kansas 37-34. Emu. You would call them Emu. The Fighting Emus of Australia. No, it's from Eastern Michigan. So, you crazy Aussies. You did hear about the Great Emu War, didn't you?
I did.
Okay. Well, Emu lost to Central Michigan 24-13. So
I knew that was going to happen. In fact, my wife went to Eastern, and so she came home Friday after work, or was it No, it was Saturday. It was Saturday. I showed her my phone where Central was in the lead, and I said, "Fire up, Chips," which is like the "Let's Go team" for Central. They're the Chippewas.
Oh yeah.
She gave me a nice finger salute, if you will.
Oh, kind of like that player, kind of like that Virginia student did to the FSU quarterback. Yes, on storming the field. Yeah, I forgot about that one. That brought that up. Well, Nico Iamaleava is still losing at UCLA. Northwestern gets their first win of the year, 17-14. He threw for a big 180 yards on the day. Cal goes on the road, wins at Boston College 28-24. Baylor beats Oklahoma State 45-27 in the first game in the post-Mike Gundy era. Utah beats West Virginia 48-14, which West Virginia is going to play BYU Friday night. I wonder if they just stayed. No, this was in West Virginia. So, San Diego State beats Northern Illinois a big 6-3. So, and looking through the rest of the action in the country, my other team, UTEP, sucks also. They lose to Louisiana Tech 30-11. South Carolina beats Kentucky 35-3. Wrapping up the SEC action late at night. And a buddy of Buddy Hepburn schools. San Jose State loses to Stanford 30-29. Stanford gets it. Wow. Stanford won. Yeah. But so that wraps up last week. We're going to take a look at this week coming up, though.
Western Michigan defeated Rhode Island to advance to 2-3 and 2-1 in the conference.
Oh, what? Not the Rhode Island Institute of Technology, right?
Oh, just Rhode Island.
Okay. Because we got to have the. We don't want to say gonads in that one, but yeah, folks, that was a freaky mascot.
Which that puts them in a 4-way tie for first in the MAC.
Oh, cool. That's nice.
Yeah.
We'll go back a few other comments. Let's see. Jess said if kids can't behave, then schools need to restrict what they're allowed. If they want to act like legal adults, they treat them like kids like they act like. Yeah, exactly. Every person should be free and safe to go to a game. Yep. So anyway, all right. So sportsmanship class. Yeah. So Buddy said, told you it was going to be closer to Stanford. If it was away at San Jose State, he would have picked them instead. Hey, there you go. That works. That definitely works. I know Buddy said that very thing last week. You remember that?
Yep.
Yep. So,
also some updates here from MLB. If you have a second,
go ahead.
We have the Red Sox wrapping up against the Yankees with let's see, a final score of 3-1. They win. Boston leads first game in the series. Then, as we already discussed, Chicago Cubs defeat the Padres in game 1, 3-1 as well. Tigers over the Indians 2-1. And it looks like at the bottom of the fourth, Dodgers with a commanding lead 5-0 against the Reds.
Oh, wow. So,
yeah.
That's...
So your early playoff baseball, folks. There you go.
Yay! But I tell you, it's a good time of year, and we got all kinds of sports. It's a contrast to like March where there's nothing. That little time between March and April between basketball ending and baseball starting. So yeah, go Lions. Okay, looking at games coming up this week. Overall, really starts on Friday night as West Virginia at BYU. Really shouldn't be much of a matchup, but 23rd BYU is in action. And then starting at 12 noon, Kentucky kicks off at Georgia on ABC. Iowa State at Cincinnati. Wisconsin plays Michigan. Illinois at Purdue. Really, I mean, just comment on one or two of these games as we got through because we're trying to look at our time tonight and wrap up soon. Previewing for the games this week. Penn State's at UCLA. Looking down, at least from what I can see, probably the one notable game. I mean, the matchups just stink again.
Well, Deadman, here I got one for you on Friday. I know you said you don't like Friday night football, but
right.
If you're not going to be squirreling around or anything, 10 p.m. on Friday, New Mexico at San Jose State on Fox Sports 1.
Yeah, but I don't have Fox Sports 1. But there you go.
Man.
I know. Okay. I tell you, the one channel I don't have. But still, it's not bad. That's not bad. I'll probably watch the BYU game if I'm up watching, if I'm not doing something else. But really, yeah. But when I go through Kansas State, Baylor, Clemson, North Carolina, which looks like a horrible game, both teams. I mean, it's bad. But really, it's not till 3:30 when you get even Penn State, UCLA stinks. Oklahoma State, Arizona stinks. Never did I think Vanderbilt at Alabama on ABC was the 3:30 game of the day. Yes. Okay, Mr. Angel, take care. Go hit that shower. But Texas, 9-ranked Texas at Florida at 3:30. I'm like, that should be the game that should be on ABC, not ever Vanderbilt. But there you go. It's how they. It's sad, It's how Florida has fallen.
Yeah.
But we got Boise State at Notre Dame on NBC. Virginia.
That'll be a national game because of its oddity.
It's on the road at Notre Dame, so NBC has that game.
Well, and it's the unusualness of Boise State.
Yeah.
Add to another unpredictable dimension to it.
Yeah. Well, one game that involves unranked teams, Michigan State and Nebraska, Big Ten matchup could be interesting at 4:00 on Fox Sports 1. That game could be a good match. Could be interesting to watch. We'll see Nebraska for real. Yeah.
I'm predicting hot mess for everybody.
There you go. Well, number 1 Ohio State is in action at 7:30 on NBC, also hosting Minnesota. I think probably the game of the day. I don't give Vanderbilt. Well, we'll talk about that game in a minute. Number 3, the Hurricanes are at Florida State.
That might actually be the biggest game of the nighttime slot.
Yep, I believe so too. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we take our picks. Mississippi State at Texas A&M at 7:30. Colorado is at TCU on Fox at 7:30. Look, they have 2 10:30 starts. Duke at California and Nevada at Fresno State. So you Duke fans, only half an hour better than you guys were before. So, see, I don't like nights like that. I like the late night football games. So, oh yeah, hey Tim, good to see you. Hopefully, when they meet Ohio State and Penn State are 1 and 2. Well, won't happen now when Penn State lost this game. So, actually, that does remind me we need to take a look at a couple things real quick. So. Oh, JT, you got a message.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
All right, so let's see this real quick. We're going to have to take a look at the top 25 right now. We're going to have to do this in the future. I want to look at the Texas Longhorn salute thing because it's, how that goes because, people use those. So I have to look that up. Take a look at the top 25, what we've got here, and we'll focus on the AP poll here. We'll do this. Sorry, folks. Let's see. There we go. Ooh. Okay. Well, this will be big. Bless your heart. AP top 25, Ohio State remains number 1. Oregon jumps 4 with his victory over Penn State. Miami drops 1, but is still 3rd. Ole Miss moves up 9 spots with a win over LSU, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Penn State, Indiana. It's interesting. Texas, Alabama. It's all SEC, Big Ten, except for Miami.
Yeah. Which some of that I'm like, really? Is this really appropriate on some of these teams?
Yeah, exactly. So it's
Ole Miss up 9 from last week. Really?
But what I take out of it, look at the strength of the conference. There's not a Big 12 team till Texas Tech at number 11.
Yeah.
Then you got Georgia, LSU. There's another Big 12 at 14, and then SEC at Tennessee down there, and then Vanderbilt. Georgia Tech at 17. FSU fell. Well, like FSU. They were God's gift to everything. They lose to Virginia. They dropped 10 spots. They didn't get their butts kicked. They didn't go and embarrass themselves. And why should they have fallen 10 spots, even though they lost to Virginia? Michigan still puttering down at 20th with their $12 million quarterback.
Well, that's poor play and poor opponents.
Yeah.
I mean, really. Yeah. You only beat Nebraska by 3. You deserve to go down a spot because Nebraska's not even ranked, and Michigan State might still lose to them. But they play well. Their first serious game of the year after losing to Oklahoma is going to be USC, and I predict they lose that one.
Tim agrees with you that Ole Miss is ranked too high. See, Lane Kiffin's got to beat some more quality opponents before I start having a lot of faith in him and his teams because he will always wet the bed at some point like they did with Kentucky last year. Oklahoma, I'm still not completely convinced on them. They're also John Mateen, their starting quarterback is out for at least a month with a broken hand. And
but then would you put A&M at 4th? I don't know.
No, well, I tell you what, Oklahoma's going to lose very soon and badly because their backup quarterback started that last half of last year. Oklahoma struggled offensively. Oklahoma will lose and start losing repeatedly, and their season's pretty much over now. Losing a month at this point, I mean, you lose a month in the first part of the year, you're playing Sisters of the Poor and stuff. It's not so bad, but it's I'd look for them to go backwards. A&M, we'll see. Apparently, they're good this year, and they really are. For real this year, they've won, beat Notre Dame in
Are
that game.
all three of those teams better than Penn State?
Yes,
Oregon. You think so?
Yeah, Penn State is overrated. Period. I'm not. I don't like the Big 12 outside of Ohio State right now.
Big 10.
What did I say? Big 12.
Big 12.
God, you guys got to get.
I'm going to catch you every time.
I know, but call it Big 18 or whatever that's in it. But they Ohio State is the only legitimate team, and Oregon, Ohio State and Oregon. I keep forgetting they're in the Big 10, but there's the only two outside that. Penn State, Indiana plays some real hard teams. I think Texas, Alabama should be ranked above both of them. And even Texas Tech should be above Penn State and Indiana. Georgia, yeah, maybe not LSU though. LSU's got enough problems on defense that on offense that they can't score enough to be really deemed any higher than 13th. So, but we got Tennessee and Vanderbilt. That's going to cause a border war right there. This is hatred between Tennessee and Vanderbilt. So, but that's where we are with the looking forward to the top 25 this week. We saw some big movers and shakers. I
actually did want to ask you Tennessee. Can I ask about Tennessee and Vanderbilt?
Yeah.
Do you think Tennessee is too low at 15? Do you think Vanderbilt is too high at 16? And do you think these teams are essentially equal?
No,
one apart.
No, I think Vanderbilt is smoke and mirrors. If you look at the teams that they've won, they're teams that are very average to below average. You look at their schedules for Vanderbilt. I think one of the wins is over Virginia Tech, who fired their coach already. You got Tennessee. I think Tennessee finally found a quarterback, and maybe for only 1 year. But Tennessee lost a heartbreaker at home to Georgia. That I'm afraid of this Tennessee team. Normally, Florida plays a weak sister before FSU. This team's going to go into friggin' Gainesville and roll the hell out of the Gators.
Yeah.
This team is Tennessee is good. Tennessee with their defense, and now that they have a quarterback, had they had Aguilar last year instead of Nika, I'm going to leave you. Tennessee might have competed better in Ohio Stadium. This team is much better this year than what we saw last year, and it's due to the quarterback position.
I think they're better than Alabama and Texas, but yet they're 6 spots lower. So what do I know? But
gotcha. Tim said he would take it in a playoff still if they had 14 one-loss OU before a one-loss Ole Miss, depending on who they lost to. Exactly. Yeah, and that's true. But then again, like I said, Oklahoma is going to probably fall out of all this in the next few weeks, having the quarterback out a month. Because last year, the backup that would be scheduled to go in was not serviceable last year.
Well, but it might not happen. It might not happen because they're playing Kent State this weekend, but then it's Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, LSU. I mean, they have one easy game left.
Yep.
And then it's the roller coaster of pain.
Yeah. Well, we're going to try to wrap up in the next 10 minutes. We're about at 90 minutes. So, folks, thank you for being with us. We got one last segment we're going to do because I can't skip it because JT's going to gloat over everything.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah. Oh, well, you get to deserve it. That's what
I didn't even really go back and look in all that. I was like, man, I think you might have passed me up this past week.
Oh, no.
I got a lot wrong, I feel like.
Well, let's see. Well, I don't think you did that bad, but see, well, since we missed the week before, what happened week 5 last? Well, let's see, we were week 5.
We did 1, 3.
Yeah. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 5 or something like that.
Yeah. Week 3, you were overall in lead. 30. I was 31-14. You were 35-10 with a 4-game lead. Week 5 last week. We'll take a look here. Let's take we'll leave it big so people can see and so you can So
there you go.
Oh, are you looking for JT or she? I wonder if she's trying to find you on Twitter. Uh, but yeah, we both won with Ohio State. Oh, shoot, I didn't do math right.
Sam, talk to Dad Man after.
1, 2,
Because I don't know
3,
if I have you right
1,
now.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I messed up my math. So I'm 11-4 there, which made me 42-19. So you're still I don't know. I can't do math on the fly. I mess up. So
Aren't you a math guy though?
yeah, I am, but my brain shut down. So but anyway, it's so 11-4 be 42-18. That's what it is. There you go. So there you go. 42-18. So you're 2 games up coming into this week. Yay. How about that, JT?
Sam, you found me. You found me.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yay.
You found me. Yeah.
You know, we agreed on Ohio State. We've agreed on Illinois. We agreed on Indiana. I mean, like we said, these are bad games. Minnesota, although they only won by 3. The one is Northwestern also won by 3, but you took them over UCLA. That's one on your side. We both took Texas A&M, but that game was very close to going the other way. We both took Tennessee, Vanderbilt, and South Carolina. The other was Notre Dame. You just couldn't pick Notre Dame. I did, and it wasn't even close. So, like I said, of course, in the national games, you took Ole Miss. We were both wrong on FSU and both wrong on Georgia. I got Oregon versus your Penn State, and then we both got BYU.
I was going to say, most of my losses, I feel like the games are really close.
I
don't think I picked a single one that was a total runaway, except for that Arkansas abomination. That was so bad they lost their coach. So
yes. Sam, you're gonna have to wait for him to get back to you because you gotta be friends and stuff before you can message. So hey, Dad Man, how's the math skills? It's a formula. It was the Excel worksheets. I love Excel worksheets. I let it do the work, so I don't have to think. All right, so this week, okay, at the Big Ten, we got Wisconsin at Michigan. We both take Michigan. Any particular thoughts on either of these teams or this game?
Neither one of these teams is very good. I think they should be playing at like 10 or 11 in the morning just to get it out of the way and just call it that. Michigan's going to win at home.
Okay. Illinois at Purdue, I think we both get healthy, mostly because we just don't trust Purdue, right?
No, never.
Wait. What was it? Boiler up, toot, toot. Boiler up, toot, toot.
100%. You got it.
That's good. I remember that from last year.
You did. If folks just go on YouTube and search Boiler Up Purdue, and you'll get the chant, and you'll wonder why, and then you'll pick Illinois to win.
I've seen some very stupid chants over the years in my life. That has to be one of the dumbest ones.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Did I tell you about the time with my kids? I took them to a basketball game at my alma mater, and they're sitting there playing something, and I'm like, oh, that's the Munsters song. Dun, 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 dun. They're like, no, Dad, that's Uma Thurman. What do you mean Uma Thurman? That's the Munsters. They're like, you know that song, right?
No.
Fall Out Boy. Okay, anyway, never mind. I guess I'm too cool and hip, I guess, by my kids. But yes, I keep hearing about this. The best chants are the English football chants. JT, you're with German soccer, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know much about the German? I mean,
it's hard to know what they're saying a lot of times because it's just stadium noise. All runs together. I'm not a big chant person.
Well, but I like the bands and the music. Dun, 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 go Gators, or they take the just dun, 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 and they do the Gator job arms and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We had some like 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits a dollar, all for the Gators. Stand up and holler, yay! That type of stuff. But yeah, I think that'd be cool. I think some of that is starting to affect American football, regular football, because we got more professional soccer over here, and I think those people. I think I hear it in some of the football games from time to time. But the problem is in America, though, you can't. You got to be careful with letting chance people get out of control, especially in like places like Philadelphia, and definitely places like that. Okay, but I do like that. I love my college bands. That's why I hate YouTube and this copyright crap, because I'd love to be able to share a lot of my favorite songs with people, college football songs. I mean, I can listen to college fight songs all day. Now you can't touch this. You can't touch this. Dun, 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 dun. Can't touch this.
Just like the bad guy from Lethal Weapon 2. I've got diplomatic immunity. That means hammer, you can't sue. That's
dog
the Family
diggity
Guy version.
Yo, dog diggity dog, yo. Can't touch this. Sorry.
All right, moving on.
I'm trying to get my street cred on, JT.
Oh,
I like this. So Anna said, no, you have to insult the other team, but make it fun and topical.
Now that everybody stopped watching, I just saw the numbers plummet on the concurrence after that. Sorry, folks.
It's okay. I could sing. Sorry, no. All right, we got Washington and Maryland. We split on this one, though. I'm taking the homestanding Terrapins. You're taking the team from the West Coast. Any particular reason?
I think it's time that Maryland drops one. That's it.
Nope.
The game is pretty close in the predictions. So I was like, if I pick that home team, they're just going to lose by 6, and I'm going to regret it. So I went for the riskier maneuver.
Okay, that works. Okay, we both have Michigan State at Nebraska. I wish our friend Erica was here. Her husband is a big Nebraska fan. But we both take Nebraska. You're going against your team, though, JT.
Yeah.
Any particular reason why?
They had a bye week, and they lost going into the bye week, and the team is yet to really look fantastic at all this year. And while Nebraska's not very good, I am not confident that MSU can go on the road like this. And
I like your quarterback. I like your head coach in the Oregon State, Jonathan Smith. But that Childs guy is not a quarterback in the upper levels of college. I just don't. I didn't like him as a freshman at Oregon State.
He's had one good game this year and 2 bad ones.
Yeah. Speaking of bad ones, is the Minnesota and Ohio State. Is there even a chance in hell Minnesota stays close in this game?
No.
Okay, I agree with that.
Unless Ohio State wants to start sitting players.
Yeah.
And with the portal nowadays, I don't think you can. No. I think you have to play everybody all the time to keep them, or else they want to go, because even though they don't realize that it's for their own safety and rest and health, maybe they all want the high numbers for the NFL scouts. So,
yeah. Well, we got Kentucky at Georgia, Horga, which is what I always call them, Horga. At home again, seeks to rebound against Kentucky, the Wildcats, who are very, very pedestrian. The offense is going backwards since the start of the season. Not that it was ever anything to be shown worthy of watching. Georgia, what do you think? Should be a fairly easy win this week. They get healthy.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I was going to say, maybe it'll surprise you. No, I think they win by like 28 or something obnoxious.
Well, I will tell you, speaking of get healthy, the Gators ain't going to get healthy. Question about DJ Lagway and his foot injury and stuff versus incompetent almost Arch Manning, who people are now calling was not a 5-star recruit. If you look at the video of the high school competition he played, I'm like, he was playing like disabled schools and stuff. I mean, the video was shocking that came out with it. But the Longhorns go on the road at Florida. They still have the dominating defense. Florida just lives on its defense right now, but the offense is basically clap, shit, because it's like Lagway's not throwing the ball down the field. Billy Napier continues to call the plays, even though he said was supposed to have done that, not do that to keep his job last year. Got Lagway in, still not performing well, and probably hurt. Still a lot of two tight end formations, and you got everybody jammed on. And these are comments I've been saying for friggin' 3 years. And finally, these dumbasses locally finally friggin' decided to friggin' be unfriggin' kissing the Gators' asses shit. I'm sorry, because it friggin' pisses me off. I've wasted 3 years of my life watching this team for a friggin' smoke and mirrors head coach. He doesn't change anything. The offense is boring, vanilla. What's the purpose of bringing in all these so-called great receivers when you don't go 4 wide and you spread the field out, or you don't keep Jaden Ball in for 20 to 25 carries? It's like everybody gets playtime.
My only question on this, Dad Man, is does Texas sit their starters in the fourth quarter to keep them healthy, or do they step on the accelerator for the whole game in hopes that they break top 5 in the rankings?
No,
that's
you
the
play
scenario.
For health. You at this early part in the season, you play for you just don't risk getting people hurt. But then again, this is what's frustrating with this Gator team and this coaching staff. This game could be close. It could be like 17-10 in the fourth quarter. It could be one of those games that could go either way to the very end. But I'm just overly negative. But
I mean, granted, there have not been a lot of hard teams, except for Texas has really only played Ohio State to be much of a challenge. But the other teams have only ever scored a maximum of 10 points.
Yeah, no.
So,
and Buddy's right about here.
Not looking good for Florida.
Buddy's right. Napier's got a $21 million buyout. See, you know what? You said fire the coach and athletic director. I think say fire the athletic director because that's incompetence. This man did nothing at a major college level to get a $20-something million buyout. That athletic director should be canned too for a stupid business decision. There was no reason to fire Mullen when they did, and even if they did, you don't get the next guy. Look, you bring Lane Kiffin in, you give him a $20 million buyout. Jumbo Fisher, yeah, because you got proven coaches at that level, not some hack from, sorry, Figgy, if you're out there, Louisiana, that comes up and happens to be the hot next young guy. A lot of talk with the Florida coaching thing is they got to get an established coach. They can't go this route again with these unproven up-and-comers. So, yeah, I don't. That's kind of like a dad man rant, and that's mild for me, Sam. Don't you think, JT?
That's pretty mild.
That's
pretty mild. I mean, I'm privy to more communication in the background.
Hey,
even for your public persona, it was fairly mild.
I tell you, I loved it when you did that one with the bleeping. If you could find that, I suggest you do it again for fun, JT.
Well, we gotta get a good game for Florida for that to happen.
No, no. Well, after this week, but you know what? I'm almost apathy. But hey, tune in Thursday night with me and Anna at 8 p.m.
Whoa!
You never know what we're going to talk about. Called Get Over It, folks. So come get over it with us on Thursday night. We appreciate it. Vanderbilt at Alabama. We split. You're going Vanderbilt on the road too. Wow. You think that they can do it 2 years in a row?
Alabama's number. I think they do.
Okay.
Just like when the Lions were really bad with Stafford, they could still find a way to beat the Patriots with Tom Brady, and there was no explanation why. Yeah, I just think certain teams have other teams' number, and you think Vanderbilt's going to pop? I think they got another game or two left in them before they.
I think they pop this week. I think the pop starts this week and then goes down from there.
Okay.
Because, like I said, like last year, they would start 4-0, 4-1. There's 5-1, and then they hit a massive losing streak, and then they finally won a game at the end to get to 6 wins. So I look at that happening. Of course, Vanderbilt needs to get as many wins as possible so Clark Lee can get a job offer somewhere else and leave Vanderbilt as fast as he can, because Diego Pavia will not be back next year. It took a court to get him back this year. Kent State at Oklahoma. We both agree with that. Mississippi State at Texas A&M. I think even though Mississippi State is much better than they had been, I don't see them winning in College Station. Although if their defense holds Texas A&M down like Auburn's defense did, possibly.
I watched Mississippi State play earlier in the year, and I was not impressed.
No. Well, they held their own against Tennessee, so that was something that surprised me. I expected them to collapse, but they went toe-to-toe and could have or should have beat Tennessee. But, then again, will Marcel Reed get the ball in the end zone for Texas A&M? You don't know. That's the big question. How many points will A&M put up at home? Around the country, Clemson at North Carolina. I'm taking Dabo and the battle of zombie coaches. Bill Belichick with his girlfriend on the sideline, but you went with Unk, though, I will say.
Yeah, I think Bill Belichick has figured out how to deflate enough footballs to possibly, allegedly, get a win this week.
Okay, deflated balls. Sorry.
I remember all the South Park episodes about that. Yeah. It's hard not to riff on their jokes for like 10 minutes.
Oh, I know. Especially anybody that likes Boston, New England. That was hilarious. So Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Air Force at Navy. The battle of the early battle of the service academies, folks. We both take Navy, but I'm going to say that hopefully if things work out this year and things work, we may do something for the Army-Navy game this year. Inspirations come from Sam Wolf. And you know what, Sam Wolf, if I'm live at 8 a.m., it's 5 a.m. your time. Baby cuteness will give the alarm clock.
Yeah.
You'll be up and awake. Yeah,
5 a.m. Get over it. That's the name of the show, right? I'm kidding.
No, that's perfect timing for get over it. You didn't sign up for 8 a.m. Well, get over it. You too, JT. Get over it. Anyway, all right. Well, Virginia at Louisville. I tell you, I'm going Louisville for this because I think many times this happens. I've seen it with Florida in the past in the 80s. They get a good win and they get ranked, and then they lose the next game. Louisville they go into Louisville. This is a trap game, I think, for Virginia. That's why I'm going Louisville. What do you think?
The numbers are pretty darn tied even. I don't think Louisville's that good, and I don't have faith in Virginia. So I mulled this over probably one of the longest out of all these on the list. I just said, fine, I'm going with Virginia. There's no strong conviction on this. It was, which one do I think Dadman's going to pick? And I want to go up one on him potentially.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was more of the decision calculus than which of these two teams that are not going to amount to anything this year will come out on top. So yeah.
Since this team does not get it often mentioned here, I'm only going to say this one time this season because I call different things teams like Horga and things like that. Well, I always call it Virginia at Louisville, but that's the one time I'll say that this year. So yeah. Big game of the week, I think the nation it's good to see this rivalry back to where it was before. Miami at Florida State. We split. I've got the U, you got FSU. Why do you take the Seminoles?
I think I'm not really up on the long-term rivalry on this, but it's an in-state game.
Yeah.
So I think that numbers next to your name go out the window, and they can play each other quite close because they're both ACC, right? So they have a long history of playing one another,
and they're in different. Actually, no, the division. There's no more divisions. Sorry about that, but yeah, they do. But see, Florida State can't afford another loss in the conference. if they want to fight for a conference title and more. See, the thing with me with this game is Miami has, I think, a better proven quarterback, Carson Beck, who had been at Georgia. Miami's coming in with a good defense. This game has never been much about who's at home, who's on the road. Back in the 80s with Bobby Bowden, we had two games that ended up with the same exact score that were both the wide right 1 and wide right 2. The two games in a row ended up with FSU missing a field goal wide right at the end. And that's why I'm going for Miami in this case. Is FSU's good. They're improved, but I don't think they have enough to hold up with Miami.
Look, I also think Miami's overrated. Mm-hmm. They did beat a fake number 6 Notre Dame, which gave that first week, which gave them that 3rd place ranking. And then they beat an 18 USF, which USF's not even on the charts anymore, right? So, look, I think they're more of an unknown than what we think. Mm-hmm. And Florida State has the home field advantage. And I think that really does count for something. So there we go.
And our last game, the Beavers, my Beavers, are at Appalachian State. I took Appalachian State. Forget it. The Beavers sucks. The Beavers suck so badly. It's
well, App State's not very good this year either.
Well, they do have a quarterback that transferred from Vanderbilt that actually can throw the football. They have a win. They've historically been a good program, and they actually have a quarterback that can throw the football. So that's where I'm going with that. So, and we'll see what happens. I'm 2 games behind you, JT. We'll still see where we.
Well, we have 5 differences this week, so someone will be crowned a leader.
Yeah,
on this for sure. We are not going to tie.
No, it's. But see, folks, that's usually what happens many times. Is the early weeks or the paycheck games and the crunchy game. There's just the garbage games, and even if they're decent games on paper. They're usually, they're usually ones that you can see fairly easy. You can call them fairly easy for one side or the other. So, well, JT, while I'm prepping up the outro, what are you doing? What's going on with you these days?
Sure. So tomorrow night I'll be on Dave C's channel at 9 p.m. doing issue number 5 of Spectre, the 1967 run. We may end up killing our run on this. We've been eviscerating the last 2 issues, which actually has been a lot of fun for the chat as well for us to some extent. So I'll be over there doing that. Friday, hanging out, Mark D with the C on some late night Fortnite, and then Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern, saving Star Trek with the great Admiral Teague.
All right, good luck with Spectre.
Thank you.
Why do I keep thinking of James Bond with that?
Because they have a movie. That's one of their later movies.
But it's not the same thing. Okay.
No.
Right.
This original comic was from like the 30s or 40s, and then we're doing the second iteration in the 60s.
Yep. Well, speaking of this, tomorrow night at 8:00 p.m., I've got Wes Cagle on. We're going to be just doing whatever the heck we normally do. Hopefully, if it all works out, and he'll be protecting the nuts, and we'll be just rambling about whatever the heck we want to ramble about, going into various topics. There won't be any squirrel late night streams this week because of it's our last week with Mom, and so it's a slower week after this week. But hey, we got. Of course, I put this in here because I'm trying to have our late nights where they involve some people from Europe too. So that way we'll be late night anywhere, So, of course, we still got our obligatory fruitcake and porta potties. Monday nights with Jess. Okay. But did I get these out of order again? But hey, definitely with SPD Girl, our great friend Jess. Love playing Fortnite with her. Your other left. No, your other left. Well, the missus. The missus is still working through tomorrow night. They will have another movie that she's never watched, and her and Atwood will be showing these movies and playing it and all. And so join it. It's it's fun to watch her reactions as they happen live. You hear screaming and everything else. And this Thursday night at 8 p.m., get over it. With the great Anna's Gameland, we're going to sit there, talk about what to get over with, and maybe some other things in there too. And I definitely got what I know this week. But folks, great news show that we got here coming, and hope y'all program get into that as we do that, and all of our streams with JT on Tuesdays, Jess on Mondays, and West on Wednesdays, and Thursdays are kind of like a variety day. I will just say that I am planning a Halloween show on my channel on Friday the 17th. They got a confirmation from a couple people tonight, so I'm going to work towards that. No, I struggle with English. That's the problem. That's the problem. But we have 10 people watching. Hey, that's really awesome here at the end at almost 2 hours, JT. So but yeah, join us like I said, tomorrow night at 8 and Thursday night at 8 with Anna, and then tomorrow night with West. And exactly, Dabbanese. Exactly. You can be so talented to create your own your language. I don't know if it's scarier that I created a language or if people actually understand it.
I can understand most of it, which
there are some, especially some of the women. They're like they know exactly what I'm saying. I'm like, so it's like whatever. As long as y'all understand what I'm saying, I'm happy. That's okay. But what I'm happy is having JT Kirk with me tonight. Thank you, JT. I appreciate you being here, and everybody else that's been here in the chat. Thank you for that. And folks, what I forgot to say at the beginning, but if you ever have any questions about rules and other stuff, please feel free to share it. We'll do our best to try to deal with them and answer any questions that you have. And then hopefully, like I said, after the football season, maybe next year we'll get back into some more international sports as we do in all season, JT. But on that note, thank you again. JT. I said JT, not Dre T. Golly. God. Call him Ice Cube Kirk, okay? How about that?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, don't do that, because
What?
Don't use that 3-letter word, because then bad things happen to you.
Oh, no. Well, we'll avoid it. So we'll avoid it like a mystery box that could take you anywhere in Horrorville. So make sure you catch the misses on Monday and Tuesday nights, folks. Thank you again, JT. Thank you, everybody. And we will catch you all next time. Thanks. Bye, all.
Bye, all.